Self-portrait as states. In a state of mitosis, I am split into the histrionics. From a state of birth, I am othered by power deciding if I am. I am. In a state of documentation, paper and ink, anchor link, not a chronicling, but a tracking. As I am a state of alienness, which is to say, dangerous and endangered in a state of transience, a step before disappearance. To be erased when I'm no longer of value. Till then, to be seen, not heard, mise en scene to the voyeuristic mechanics, street, bridge, land, border made a stage, and thus I am forever a stage of performance. Bullseye being easy to follow, constant chokehold gaze, I am in a state of pain, spine straightening, disc splintering under pressure, born from a mother's labor, in a state made from my people's labor. Blood, sweat, tears turn sea in which I am forever buoyant. In a state of treason, inherited from my people's selfish survival, oscillating between broken nation dreams, marinating gratitude, machinery watching us ricocheting to cracking anthem in the plot where I am born betrayed, secret state of rage, in translation misunderstood. So I am taught tongues, watched words, I speak my learned lines, and what remains otherwise should not be spoken, life measured in the gulfs between. Hence I am, in a state of fear, my body now an inevitable exodus. A state of grief. I am mourning, years lost, bodies taken, my people's larynxes avoid, constructed hierarchies rendering our souls worth cities a vanishing act, to their sleight of hand. What is a people without a name unseen? A state of silence. What is a people watched on a warrior stage? Their state. Thank you. This is Atman Amnadais, and that was my poem, Self-Portrait as States.
This is not Atma here. That was Atma, and that was an amazing beginning to Rooftop Rhythms 87. Show Atma some love, everybody in the chat. Thank you to everyone who has joined us. We're close to 60, and we're just getting started. That means a lot, but more than the numbers who are in here, it's all about the energy. Thank you to my friend Hassan that I just met in the pre-show room. He was about to get up and dance. Natalia was thinking about it, but she said she had to perform. So, it's just all about vibes. The only reason we continue to do this show during the pandemic is just to be here with you, to share energy with you. And that's why we decided, the great people at the Arts Center at NYU Abu Dhabi decided to make it Zoom only, community oriented. So we'll be vibing with you throughout the event. Thank you to the co-partners of this event, the Arts Center at NYU Abu Dhabi, with official support of the U.S. mission to the UAE. More semantics and details later, but I think you're here for poetry and artistry. So thank you so much, Atma, for those beautiful words. Let's now move to my good friend, Anis. What's up, Anis?
All good in the neighborhood, man. What's up? So this poem is a poem that I wrote after returning to Cairo or to Egypt after 12 years of not having been to home, and it's been a heavy subject in my heart. And so here goes nothing. I ran away from home backwards. The authorities misspelled my last name so bad I became a legend for puns at Houston's airport. I'm a citizen of a country with diverse understandings for love and a toxic relationship with the past. And I speak the dialect of a man born between the borders of nowhere to be found, yet somehow familiar. Sometimes they say I'm from the South, allegedly Knoxville, or even New York. I'm an outsider of a home that has kept me safe in the same manner that it has shown me the door. And I'm also Egyptian. Quiet is an odd definition in Cairo. Its silence is made up of car honks, busted diesel engines, bus ride calls, pedestrians playing chicken with the traffic, and a driving culture that turns road laws into satire. You heard me right. This is silence, the kind that you hear when you point a megaphone into the thoughts of a writer's brain as he meekly plays interpreter between paper and the literature trapped in his soul. This is home, where a kindness coexists with a ruthlessness to survive, and it's where the heart goes to die. Where a consciousness can blaze a trail to find itself, where elbows bumping in the train could explode an ugliness in each of us, or sometimes remind us how to say hello. where and I land, and for days my blood drinks it all, quenching a dizzying thirst from orbiting the wrong heart for too long. It bathes in the call to prayer. It drinks from the Nile and the sun, and it eats from the soil, from the dirt. And for once, time feels right again. The days feel like days, and the nights end only when you choose to sleep. Thank you.
Everybody show some love to Anise. What a great way to start with two well-crafted poems from some veterans of the Rooftop Rhythm stage. Thank you, Anise and Atma, for just sharing your personal story. I know that's not hard for a lot of people. When I first started poetry at around 19, and maybe for 12 to 15 years after, I used to always write about, cool topics, or poets would say, I wish I thought of that, like things in the media, but people always said, but we want to know more about you. So I know that's a vulnerable practice. And Anise, thank you so much for going to Cairo and allowing that to encourage your artistry. And shouts out to all my Egyptian friends in the building. All right, we're going to keep it going, everybody. Thank you for all the love that you're showing in the chat. And I'm just going to go to gallery view real quick because I have attendees that have cameras on. They're vibing with us. This is not a requirement, but it makes us feel like, we're in the community with you. So shouts out to Carol Benbrick. How are you? Okay, I'm not shouting out your performance. You have to have your camera on. You don't count. All right, what's up, Sherrod Jacobs? Yusra, how are you? Donovan, what's up? Thanks for checking in. Donovan Yards. That sounds like a dope rap name. Okay, Miguel Rivera, Jawad Adam, hello. And a couple more people, we'll shout out some more later. Farahani and Athija Al-Sarkal. Thank you so much for joining us. And it means the world to us, all right? So we're going to keep it moving. Next, we have a first timer. If you have us on the TV of your home, or if you put us on a big screen projector outside of your villa, I want you to turn the volume up, okay? And I want you to say, new poet. All right, it's his first time. He's an Emirati, I believe from one of the Northern Emirates, and we're so thankful to have him join us today. Show some love to Mr. Sultan Al-Nahal, everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for having me here. Today's poem is called Servant to the Most Gracious, and it's more like a promise that I would get it out. Nevertheless, I'll start right now. What a feeling at a moment sudden. Death swept you, but left our minds running. A lot to handle at the door of my heart where it's flooded. Strength wept at the weight of it all, trying to keep the beloved. Heard of all the cases beforehand, never thought we'd be one. Learned of all the faces trying to understand what God has done. Blurred vision to a wall of people asking for the tears of his son. Deterred the collision of falling, trying to stand up to what has begun. Dear Father, grievance falls heavy on these words, it's an infection. Grievance calls for my heart to be weakened at the loss of a father's protection. We once had smiles and hugs and love that built mountains on its collection. Rejection of my reality is thrown to the side as I do some self-reflection. A reaction is desired, but we were raised with strength, so no tears in detection. The directions are unknown at the moment, trying to fill the missing connection. The connection that carried my words proud when I spoke your name in every direction. Affection was rare between us, so when it happened, it was impactful in its disconnection. Right out of our reality of toxic masculinity to be left with fatherly love beyond objection. Dear Father, your legacy doesn't end at a COVID grave. Your name carries persistence. For more is to come after the tears have dropped from the lack of closure and the distance. The existence of your mistakes appear around me, but is overtaken by the act of change, the difference. Admittance to the fact that your coexistence changed hearts. It can be seen in their reminiscence. Remembering the memories of holding your hand as a child, knowing that substance. The last thing seen was your family smiling for your recovery, carrying my perseverance. It's the reason your brothers and sisters cry while I hold them with a calm appearance. Then again, you raised us like that, the reliance of no one as we held fearless. I reach out to the dearest, my father, in that you were the nearest. I've been feeling pain trying to utter your name in the midst of this fire that flutters. Trying to get closer to you, I lied and said there was more time, but what have I suffered? I've been scratching insane over the situation. I forgot to say I love you. Why did I stutter? Trying to rip this unwanted flesh. My body is unneeded in this world that is filled with clutter. I fall on your mercy. God, lessen the fractures on this family. Our rooms are starting to cluster. Where you saw my tears are spiritual, trying to clean the dirt off his grave. Why won't they stop, Mother? I am worthy of carrying his honor, but I can't see myself anymore. What's there to discover? Am I really worthy of what's to come, creeping over, comforting what's weaker as I grow tougher? Dear Father, distance was your closest friend when it came to the children that loved you most. Instances of your presence is felt seeping around souls among the memory of love that's too close. This once let me feel his hand as I reached the door. He stood by rather than having the memories afloat. Mama weeps over the loss of a loved one, asking to see you one last time, but my memory is a ghost. Mama keeps all you gave her, trying to remember all the love you gave, but God is sure of what he wrote. Doors creaking, waiting on you to arrive home, hoping you aren't alone, Father, being far from where I hoped. Dad jokes build pillars to hold a house to the standard of a home made out of laughter. Had hopes to lay breeze on your stress, seeing your son carry on the family to the next chapter. Added hopes to see you recover. To our hero, I said, worry not, Father, you will be with us after. The faster you recover, the faster you arrive to the home you've built. Words that fracture and scatter. Believing in your recovery, never thought you would leave us suddenly off this earth to the hereafter. I believed in your strength, but in the end, my belief in you could not hold you, nor did it matter. If only I knew, I would have never let go of your hand, never to leave that room. My emotions are a disaster. Life's now too fast for me to watch over it carrying, and it seems to grow into my heart faster. Gasping air, but the lungs love water, drowning the mind as it bleeds deeply. Clasping onto the family care, but the fangs feed on suicidal thoughts briefly. Rasping through crackled voices to control emotions before knives deep in old wounds routinely. Completely fasting from happiness, trying to find dedication in my time, but it's been blasting freely, screaming, free me, release me from this unseemly material compared to his life, it's measly. Redeem me from myself, no will fighting for a will. Rather, I fight for the sweat that was strenuous, really. Present yourself during hard times. For you, it's free money. For us, it's his accomplishments. Please see. I've been getting colder and finding more peace. Then I lie and go back to breaking into a cracked piece. Thrive is all I can think of nowadays as I learn of the world and how to deal with surprises as they reach. Now everyone wants to sit and teach me how to handle pain, how to carry a name, how to believe. Rush into the enormous emotion of grief while you cleave into our process of learning how to grieve. Alive is an adjective I wish I see more as I vent out my actions to a paper that can't seem to conceive. Baba taking care of our family in the hospital is a task itself demanding, making sure we grieved. Baba, rest assured your son will pick up all that is left where you left off. I will not stay aggrieved. Expressed and endured, worry not, Father, we've matured, but maturing isn't enough to what has heaved. Reassured that God reaped you away peacefully from all your complications collectively received. No more heart attacks or medications consumed, Father. These eyes have not witnessed the perceived. Relieved, Father, that you can do as you desire with no worries because of all you have achieved. Strength, focus, and willpower were cultivated within me. However, there is something missing I need. However it is, Baba, I can't let go of that dark night swallowed in pain at your grave. My mind has yielded all its thoughts to the dirt that covered you. It seems like I'll cave. Karma paves waves I can't imagine hoping, so I hold my head high trying to be brave. But bravery with no fear is lack of it. Hence I am lost as to how to behave. Shave the pieces off slowly, then a philosophy rooted turning me a slave to path the way into the idea that bravery is used to face monstrous wave. Acceptance of the fact that I was dealing with oceans too calm for my liking has waved. Stave into the dirt with the shovel. I refuse to stop, refuse to catch my breath or lave. Seeing the difference over 20 men at your grave, Father, honor in your death, and I look at the other grave bothered. While we bury you proper, only one man to grieve her on her. I reflect on the scholar lost, to the mystery woman no one got her. Then I look up and I see a wave of graves that seem to go further. A COVID is a killer and it leaves a scar. COVID is a killer and it leaves a scar too bitter for me to call it a robber. And just as I learn all the hows of the same life, throwing sharper news, losing my sense of hearing, hand to nothing but a steering wheel speeding to a present, moving too swiftly to be visibly appearing. Understand when a car speeds, not carrying for a single radar, then it seems to be a situation reappearing. Dear grandfather, grievance falls heavy on these words. I'm starting to forget any feeling. Thank you everyone for your time and for listening.
Everybody, that was Sultan Al Nahal. And right now, we're just going to take a brief moment of silence for his father and his legacy that will continue to live on through him. The 2,200 people in the UAE who've passed away due to COVID, and 5.5 million people around the world who've passed away from this deadly disease. A brief moment of silence. Thank you so much, Sultan, for sharing with us. Thank you so much to all the people in the chat box that are just building him up and encouraging him. I encourage you to read those comments, Sultan, and we're here for you as a community. So thank you so much for just choosing us to vent and share your story. And we're here for you if you need anything. We believe poetry is a very powerful tool for self-expression and for healing. And this is a testament to our event tonight. So thank you so much. Next to the mic, we're going to show some love. I believe it's our second or third time. Each time she kills it and shows another side to who she is. So please, everybody, show some love to our friend, Sarah Mustafa.
Thank you so much, Dorian, and thank you, Sultan, for your beautiful poem. May his soul rest in peace. And yeah, thank you so much again. Right, so before I begin, I'm about to give you guys a poetry class. So I wrote this poem for an assignment, and it's a sestina. A sestina is a form of poetry that consists of 6 stanzas and a final triplet. Each stanza contains 6 lines, and all the stanzas have the same 6 words at the line end in 6 different sequences. So that's a lot of sixes. I know it's very confusing, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Often I would sit and write, "Dear Diary, today I learned the definition of love. I had spotted it in an outdated, forgotten dictionary my mother gave to me when I turned 12 years old. A very strong feeling of caring for someone. You told me that love can't be taught. Instead, you must drench in their honey eyes. Dear Diary, yesterday I turned 16 years old. I hid the crumpled letters of my lover underneath the pillow and prayed my father didn't know. I had forgotten that he never believed in love. I'm trying to forget that it's not allowed to expect affection from you in the place of others. Sometimes even I find it hard to believe, dear diary. Tomorrow I'm reading a book titled All About Love. I still trust that words hold the ancient old recipe for making love stick. I'm 20 years old and words of endearment remain a forgotten dialect stumbling awkwardly across my lips. I love that you don't ask me to say I love you. My mother never stopped asking, dear diary, the thought of your lips on my neck consumes me. I'm trying to be better at making love work for me and you. I'm soaking the remains of my old dictionary in honey water. Dear diary, please give me permission to forget the taste of honey in your voice. You told me that I can't learn about love, but I discovered that my methods of love were written instructions my mother left me on the door of the fridge one late night. You can't convince me your grandmother's old necklace pendant isn't a love lesson she's trying to forget, but begged you to learn every single day, dear diary. I'm 30 years old, and I can finally say love-filled words. I've forgotten the stutter my father taught me. And now, when I talk about you, I don't use my diary. Thank you.
Everybody, that was Sarah Mustafa. Sarah, thank you. What inspired that poem? I think that was a really creative approach.
I was trying to define love, and I felt that every year when I grow up, it just gains a new definition. And I discovered that it's mostly from my parents. I'm learning the definition of love through my parents, so I wanted to portray it through a poem.
Okay, this sounds crazy. I only want 2% of the royalties, but what if you made like a notebook too? It seems like it's related. Have you seen Notebook? No?
Yes, of course.
It seems like such a creative approach. And what if it was done through the direction of a poem that you did through journals? I like that a lot. Sarah, where are you from?
Egyptian.
Egyptian. Okay, so we started with my friend Atma representing India and the UAE, Anis representing Egypt, my friend Sultan representing the UAE, Sarah representing Egypt as well. And now, thank you so much for sharing your words, Sarah. We're going to move into an NYU Abu Dhabi student. Show some extra love to NYU Abu Dhabi. We have a great staff from the Arts Center supporting us on production this evening. We have Arabic translations in the chat for our mostly Arabic speaking audience. Okay, so their team is doing a great job. We love NYU and their support for this show. And so we want to represent really well for a first timer. Okay, you gotta show love for that. And an NYU Abu Dhabi student. Please show some love representing Nigeria. His name is G-Ray.
Hello, my name is Jire, and I'm going to be singing a song I wrote about a personal, intimate relationship with a past friend. And I hope you like it. Place your hand on my chest. On this night, you look at your best. Turn around, let me see what the Lord has given me. Let's go away, screw this down. There's a better place for sweet romance. No more lies, there'll be no more force. Don't be shy, we'll be all alone. Fire down, no, it's for me. There's no one around. How will we? There's something wrong. Why do you look away? I've got your favorite songs from Johnny Drill and G.A. You kissed me first, but now you want out, jeez. Cause you say you're the goddess, you do as you please. But it's okay, cause you ain't mine. You have your say all the time, and I know you're the goddess, you do as you please. Don't command this stress to go down your knee. Fire down, no, it's for me. There's no one around. How will we? So please fire down. No, it's for me. There's no one around. How will we? Thank you.
You can't sing like that and just expect us not to talk to you. Show some love to G-Ray, everybody. What is that? You were really playing the piano?
Yes, I am playing the piano.
At the same time? That wasn't a recording?
No, it wasn't.
D-Ray is the man. A new star is born at NYU Abu Dhabi. If you don't know, there is so much impressive talent at NYU Abu Dhabi as far as their student base with poetry. But I mean, I think Bill Bragan and the staff would agree. I mean, it's just really has been increasing as far as the level of talent we've been seeing with original music and musicians. So just keep it going, NYU Abu Dhabi, and all the young people. You have a platform here, and there are also, hopefully, inshallah, more platforms as far as the open mic scene is concerned. But thank you for you sharing your original content with us. Everybody give G-Ray his flowers right now. And thank you so much. And we hope to see you continue to perform on our stage, okay? Thank you so much. All right, G-Ray. And I mean, I think he's been messaging us for like a year or two, like, I'm gonna come to the show, I'm gonna come to the show. But everything happens, inshallah, at the right time. So G-Ray said, I'm gonna be great in 2022. We're just gonna kill the stage at the virtual show. Can't wait to see you in person. Let's keep it going, everybody. Another friend of Rooftop Rhythms, longtime supporter and really talented prose writer and poet, even a musician as well. Show some love to Rawad, everyone.
Thank you, Dorian, and thank you for holding the space for all the complex emotions that come out through the works of everyone sharing tonight. I'll be reading Leaving the Nest. Why am I alive? The question rings quietly like a petal falling on the pond between my ears, stilling the water. I have been an expatriate my entire life. Transient, the enduring, temporary is something I know about, and something like our program is 10 weeks and my degree is 4 years and your contract is 3 and our relationship, a question mark. The city I live in recently changed the name of the street I grew up on. For the 2 decades we have had that address behind that main road. It was called Delma Street. Now it's Sheikha Fatma Street, the mother of the nation. The city has never felt like a home, a hostile womb of sorts that I was optionless to feed from. The city's a nest for the future it is becoming. It's true of my city and it is true of yours, except maybe no one has told you yet, and probably you haven't realized it because your neighbors haven't mentioned it. It brings up questions for me. Am I going to be part of that future or looking at it through the twigs, keeping it warm? Where do I belong? And if it is a place, how do we get there? How do we arrive? How do we arrive? I recently, and we as a family, moved out of the home that served as our longest place of abode. That's a perk of having a tenancy contract that begins on the first day of the year and ends on the last 31st day. It means the move loomed over the holidays and the end of the year, and as it happens, 1 or 2 birthdays in the family. This place I came back to when my heart was broken, and I have wanted to leave ever since, if ever I had a place to go. I left finally, and I was the first to move out, and as soon as I did, a process unfolded that led to everyone leaving, and I was keeping the status quo I wanted to change. As I lifted a step, it wasted no time running ahead. A day or so after, I felt an overwhelming feeling and I thought, I don't have a home. And it passed through me and I drove without destination in a city I grew up in to the surreal realization that the past will look different from now on. It feels like grief. The trucks and the movers were closing around all of our things, dismantling the bars they held in place for 20 years as they became more and more all we had to show for our time here. And if only we could get them on stage, and we never could. And we did a lot of packing and surrounded by boxes, we couldn't tell you what was in them, labeled or not, because they are things. And now we don't know what they mean, why they are here, and which of them have a place in our tomorrow. It was a Tuesday, and they hacked away expertly and impatiently at the towering memories that only we could see behind the thick and only now revealed archaeological dust that coated the tops of closets and the backs of TVs. Our cage is bare, revealing a beautiful and almost renewed potential. What all empty apartments offer as you walk onto their tiled canopies, the possibility of a life, a screen for what it could look like, the walls a canvas for everything you ever dreamed you could want. Around here and over there and in that corner, it starts to form. Just look past the 2 single-seat sofas where their age in orange faded into tired black, and a leather recliner with a broken handle to release it either stays open or you'd need to root underneath it with a vice grip to throw that leg prop out again. We don't know how to get rid of anything. We don't know how to let go. We keep the broken.
Rawad, we keep the broken. Why are you just going to end with a killer line like that, Rawad? Come on. I mean, that was a great ending. I mean, can I use that for some other context, or is that already copyrighted?
No, that's free for Rooftop Rhythms.
Everybody, show some love to Rawad. More like anthropological prose, but Bill and I was just chatting on a side chat saying that's the type of work that you may see at a Hakaya, which is a great dedication to UAE's National Day done by the Arts Centre at NYU Abu Dhabi every year. So Rawad, you may need to apply. That's a really strong piece that would do well, as that event talks a lot about home and belonging. So thank you so much. And show some love to Rawad for kind of being out of the box. You know, we don't get as much storytelling or prose, but that was beautiful and fitting. Speaking of the Arts Centre at NYU Abu Dhabi, let's please show some love to their lead sponsor, Mubadala. All right, and as you know, the event is also officially supported by the U.S. mission to the UAE. And we also want to show out a lot of love to the media sponsors who helped to get the word out. That's The National, Yellow Magazine, Al Ittihad, Al Bayan, Harper's Art Book, and be sure to sign up for the Arts Center's mailing list at nyuadartscenter.org, and their social is at NYUAD Arts Center. So when they do have more announcements to update you regarding, in-person or virtual events with the ongoing season due to COVID-19 protocols, then you'll get all the updates there. So thank you to the Arts Center at NYU Abu Dhabi one more time. All right, let's keep it going, everybody. Another first timer. Can I hear you yell? First timer. All right, she's a talented young lady. I've already read some of her poetry. Only 19 years old. Show Sarah Al-Blushi some love representing the UAE.
Hello guys, how are you? Okay, I'll be reading a poem that I would say is really deep to me. Feeling stuck, feeling misunderstood, all the creatures align, but we still have no luck. How are we supposed to be known when all around us think we're lost? Oh, we know what you feel. If you did, we wouldn't be alone. Few people look around and say, what if? But the people surrounding us think that they're the all-knowing. Please come take me. I need a lift. I zone out in the middle of gatherings and they ask, are you with us? I look around and can't help but see the gradual scattering. How can it be? How can it be that in a room full of laughter, people with such impure hearts wait so eagerly to see others in a tomb? Why is it that when we point out the truth, in a space where it should be filled with it, because of the amount of grown-ups, we're called the uneducated youth? If adults are supposed to be our idols, the ones who are mature and live life so flawlessly as said, why are we the rivals? In a world of such toxicity, where ideas are eliminated just because it doesn't fit the adult standards, why do they blame us for our simplicity? Your generation thinks everything is so simple. Have you thought why? Maybe our minds are open to solutions rather than problems that only riddle. We live in a world where it's a sin to think, because what if the adults disagree? Our lives are under constant consent of people who are scared to blink. Respect is essential, but a riddle is only solved when you understand it. So let us live how we understand and avoid the unwanted tension. The difference of our generation should not threaten you. We live for ourselves with advice that we choose to take or not, because in the end, it's our formation. Thank you.
Another raw talent, very powerful. Thank you so much for just sharing, vulnerable views and the importance of people before us kind of bridging the gap with the younger generation. And we know the future of the UAE is bright with you, Sarah Al-Blushi. What part of the UAE are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm from Abu Dhabi.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We can't wait to see you at an in-person show. And please give her flowers in the chat and check over there when you get a second, Sarah, for all the love you're getting, okay? We're gonna keep it going, everybody. We're gonna try something new. The next two artists are going to go back to back, okay? First, we have first timer Claire. Thanks for joining us, Claire. Followed by NYU Abu Dhabi student, veteran of our show. Thank you for all your support. Claudio is next to the mic after Claire. Hello, Claire.
Hi, Dorian. Thank you for having me here. Okay, so my piece is, the title is Milky Way. So here it goes. I was lost. For years, I was lost in a vast universe of sadness and doubts. I cannot even remember the last day that I slept without fear or grudge, or just simply questioning myself what my life is about. I'm trying to escape day by day all the insecurities I wish could fade away. I try to put on a smile on my face, though hidden inside of me is a past I can't erase. I cried myself to sleep most nights. I don't even understand why I get into fights. The surge of emotions, the uncontrolled anger, the shiftings of mood, the cravings for food. I don't even understand why people are still rude. Why can't you all see? I'm not as okay as you all think I should be. I'm a person half empty, and all I have is my insecurity. The anxiety, it kicks in me, slowly changing me to someone I shouldn't be. But I'm still here. I can still hear those small voices that tells me, dear, you should not fear. I've been living in the dark for years now, and I'm trying my best to be normal somehow. I'm still lost and finding my way back. But whenever I feel I'm on track, there goes another panic attack. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. I'm Claudio Falcioni, and I'm just happy of the overwhelming amount of art that I witnessed in the first half of the show. That's been really amazing. Thank you guys so much for sharing. I'll be sharing a little poem about just enjoying the raw power of nature that we often find unseen. This is called Spirit of the Beach. The town burns red with excitement as the busy August begins to shine. The coming and going of summer floods the streets with eager life. Yet navy blue fills my eyes as dots of light plot a course overhead. Instead of staring at the cold fires, my glare is caught by the bay ahead. I lie in awe of a beautiful emptiness. It's a tricky one, for it is all but empty. There is order within chaos, life within stillness. You can hear the voice of plenty. The great sapphire holds mysteries of old, the kinds that we could never solve. And let us not forget the sand, so frail and weak, and yet so strong. Hypnotized, mesmerized by a peace so difficult to reach, I let myself go to the spirit of the beach. The roars of crashing waves are just like a gentle caress. The salty winds of the sea are just like a soft embrace. I put my hand out to the side and feel a burst of hurricane. The spirit touched my fingers. I shook it like a lion's mane. Fractal images forming with the wind. The moon shining in the night just feels like a burst of light. Morning calls, so I must wake and snap out of my tranquil cove. To it all I say farewell and map the cross to the trove. This is not the end, for I will roam once more. I shall find you, spirit, and to you I shall return.
Claudio, not only did I love the crafting of the writing, but also kind of the old English flair to the poetry. Do you like old English or like traditional British English? I heard like for I will, it added a certain elegance to it. Are you still there? Or am I describing your poetry style all wrong?
There we go, I was muted,
Okay.
but yeah, I definitely took some information from there, from good old English class back in high school. That's fun stuff, trying to fake the British accent.
You've been a big supporter of our show, and I think you got G-Ray to come along recently. So thank you for just continuing to spread the word and increasing the student presence at our show. I have to shout out my good friend, Paul Roberts. If you're a long time, I know Anise knows, if you're a long time attendee, this is our 10th season. Paul Roberts was a big part and still is a big part of our family, our first ever Grand Slam poetry champion. He lives in Dubai, so he can't make it to all the physical shows, but such a talented brother. Shouts out to Paul Roberts. Show him some love. Just trust me, he's family. All right. And all of you are officially family now as well, performers and attendees. Thank you for coming. I think the show goes better when I don't talk as much. So what we're going to do, let's go 3 in a row this time. 2 in a row went well. And we like the fellas, but I want some more female energy. You know, female, the storytelling is just so powerful. So let's go ahead and go with Nadia performing for the first time, followed by, I believe, a second time performer named Malitza, followed by our friend Natalia performing, I believe, for her third time. Show them some love.
Hi, everyone. So, first time reading or poetry, here goes. Just a quick background. This was something I wrote after I had COVID. Here I lay in the dead of the night. There's a hotness in my blood that cannot be detected by that redundant thermometer. This heat keeps me awake, tossing and turning, trying to find some way to cool down. Sleep eludes me, although I desperately seek it in the dead of this night. The babe sleeps soundly next to me, his rhythmic breathing a reminder of what contentment feels like. The dawning of contentment, it excites me like a kid before their birthday party, yet the excitement dissipates by the pain rushing through my body, robbing me of my strength. Here I lay in the dead of the night, fully aware that the morning will come and bring with it the start of a new day. But I am hidden from the world that would roll out the red carpet and lay rose petals at my feet. Outside this confinement, the skies would shade me from the harshness of the blazing sun, and the chirping of the birds would be my serenade. But all I can withstand is the draped curtains enshrouding me in darkness and my bed possessing me. To that is where I belong. Time has passed and I go out. I stand outside across from the windows of those who invited me and see a warm, welcoming light. I wonder, what are they doing? What is the thoughts that run through their mind? Do they feel me sneaking into their minds and weaving thoughts of us being together again, holding each other, laughing? I hesitate, and instead I turn to the lake behind me, and I listen rather to its beckoning call, which whisper, I'm thinking of you. I want to embrace you. Come feel how gentle my touch is and how it tingles upon your skin and becomes a part of your breath. Take me into you as I want to be one with you, now and always. There I stood outside across from the windows of those that invited me. Yet they didn't even sense that another seduced me away from thoughts of them, and there I lied along the grassy banks without hesitation in the cold embrace of the air. That is where I felt I belonged. Thank you.
So the poem I have tonight talks about the past, more precisely the past that we haven't even witnessed, that we only heard of. And it talks about the future that we can only speculate about. And it's about this idea how the past and the present, the future are all interconnected in ways that we're not even aware of. So here we go. My ancestors' sins are weighing on me heavy once again. All their paintings weighed me down again. I want to jump from the rooftop straight into the sea and purify myself of it once and for all. The water floats under the bridges. The sun rises in the east. They're selling their souls for the brand. Nothing's changed. It's all the same. And those valleys that you came from, the grass is a bit less green these days. It's turning ochre. The phone is not ringing. It's all still. It's still the same. That book I gave you back in the day, it's on my shelf now, and I rarely ever open it nowadays. But when I do, I'm reminded each time that I made the right decision leaving you behind. The seagulls near my house are gathered around the floating trash in the canal. We have poisoned everything we've touched, and now our kids might not live with it. They will pay for our sins. It's just that it's not the same, because once we were young, we were catching dandelions mid-breeze, fighting the air, still so clueless to it being our most loyal friend. And those dandelions we caught, we used to put them in each other's pockets, secretly holding hands in each other's pockets, because we weren't ready for the world to see. You see, it's not the same, because I was born with the mission, and there are days when I feel like all the baggage is falling on my shoulders, and I need to carry my whole family tree by myself. But what if there's no tomorrow, and the seagulls drop dead in the sea? What if there's no water to purify me no more? I jump from the rooftop, but nothing awaits to embrace me. And the air is too heavy. It can't carry me anymore. I wanted badly a little baby girl to take care of and teach her of all that I've learned, so she doesn't have to bruise her wings, so she can fly up high with dandelions all woozy. But maybe I'm that little girl I should be taking care of. Tell her it's all right. We might not have tomorrow promised, but we still have each other. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Natalia, and I'm so hyped to be here and to listen to all of you, and I hope you're gonna like this. So here it goes. This is introspection. I'm Lebanese. I'm the youngest of 3 sisters and the only one who can't twist her tongue in a U shape. I assume it's because I've always wanted it to be about me, and my tongue just had to exclude you from my vocabulary. I assume it's also why I made everyone wait a full 12 hours in the hospital for my birth. You see, I had to make a memorable entrance. But I've been fashionably early ever since, possibly in an attempt to make up for it. I'm the shortest member of my family, but was expected to be the tallest until I reached 6th grade and stopped growing. It was at that moment that it also became my biggest fear, to never grow into myself. Today, I'm 159 centimeters tall and forever bitter for that 1 centimeter left. I often wonder if it's the reason that something's always felt missing, but hey, I never miss when I shoot my shot, or at least not intentionally. I have good hand-eye coordination. I have played almost every single sport to give up on every single one, and I am a sucker for deep and unnecessarily intense emotions. I may not be your most stable gal, but damn, do I make it interesting. I like complicated. Even as a kid, I could never answer yes or no questions without arguing for a layer in between. Black and white thinking is my biggest pet peeve. And so is the idea that cat and dog persons are mutually exclusive. Most of all, I am myself. And on days where I can't see my own value, I'm learning not to apologize for getting lost in between my layers, but instead to show off all 50 shades of my gray. I'm Lebanese. I'm the youngest of 3 sisters and the only one who has seen beauty in everyone but herself. I choose that it's something I'm capable of changing, and that my tongue is going to start including me in my own vocabulary. I choose that 20 years was worth the wait to finally start to see myself. I choose that while I may give up on sports, I will not give up on myself. And I'm a sucker for falling down and getting right back up again. I may not be your most stable gal, but damn, if that's the path it takes to find out who I am, I will walk this winding path proudly. Most of all, I'm learning that perhaps I already am who I've been dying to become. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, Natalia, we're going to need anybody that owns a t-shirt company, like, for quotables, because I feel like Natalia had like 32 different phrases that could be on a t-shirt. Natalia, thank you so much. I love the way you look at life, such an optimistic view. Thank you for sharing some of your childhood and story and your rich heritage as you're from Lebanon, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Lebanese. So thank you so much. She represents Paris Sorbonne University, and we have a cool history with them, as we once had a Rooftop Rhythms at Paris Sorbonne. It was a Rhymaween show. So that is a connection to our history. So thank you to Paris Sorbonne and all the talented students over there. And Farah Al-Chama, a friend of ours, she used to host open mics there. So hopefully there's still a poetry scene there. Connect us, Natalia, so we can shout them out and hopefully have them at our show and maybe attend if you all have any shows over there. Okay, we also wanted to shout out our friends Manal and Miguel, representing the U.S. mission to the UAE. They've been with us, supporting us for at least 7 years now, along with the long-time partnership of the Art Center at NYU Abu Dhabi. So thanks to them for taking time out of their busy schedule to join us, and to all of you attendees. You could have been many places, but you chose to be with us tonight, and we appreciate that. Our February show, we'll share the date. Please stay tuned. As you understand, we're waiting from week to week and month to month to see if we can do in real life events and at what capacity. So thank you for your patience. You should hear very shortly if we'll continue virtually, and we're optimistic because of all the great vibes, or if we're able to, and when we're able to, hopefully we'll be back home at NYU Abu Dhabi at the Marketplace venue, okay? Only 3 performers left, okay? Who's gonna hang out? Let us know in the chat. Will you hang out for 10 more minutes? It would mean a lot to those last 3 performers. Next, we have Symbol, followed by Muhammad Ali. Everybody show them some love.
Hello, everyone. Happy and very much excited to be here. The name of the poem is Friend. Alone a sunshine morn, through the faintness of a dawn, there comes an angel who stood by my side with a pleasant smile. There evoked a world of joy, a serene casket of love, an utmost caring heart filled with shining deeds, console the wounds of mine, sharing the wine of life. A heavenly peace render with a wisp of slender pity, wipe the tears of heart. Seasons have changed, years have passed, but the nectar of intimacy still lay imprinted, wrapped with fragrance of love in imperishable castle of life. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mahmoud, and I will be performing a poem called Life is Illusion. Surrounded by people, yet all alone, trapped with the solitary zone, a world where chaos and hate overtake every bit of happiness that may try to escape. Laughter and smile never seem to last, because I'm hunted by memories of my past, running the distance with nowhere to go. Those are the days of my life, a Broadway show, screaming for help. Does anyone hear? The demons of the death are coming so near. Echoes in my head, hurting me all day long, breaking the man who was once very strong. What does sanitary means anyway? Is this the swag in my step or just the words I say? Deep-rooted evil, no time for a soulmate, wondering why joy is always a day late. Suicide is the easy answer many times I have tried. Happiness seems to be the tears I have cried, unable to distinguish what's real from what's fiction. Hope is illusion, an optimistic prediction. What will it take to get me right? A visit from the devil on a lonely night. Angels prepared to battle and take a stand to remind me of their holy land. When I was to give up, they pushed for me to be strong. In my head, I hear their harmonious song. I think well state I now find myself deal with the hand in which I was dealt. Good versus evil, what it's really mean. Am I dirty when I appear to be clean? Life is an illusion, a constant mind trick on me. Who knows what my fate will be? Heaven and hell are both fair game. Will I scamble of my peace or fell down in the shame, surrounded by people yet all alone, trapped within this solitary zone? Thank you so much for having me.
Hello, everybody. And that was Symbol Sebastian, as well as my friend Mahmoud Ali. I always call him Muhammad Ali because he's such a fighter and has such great charisma. Did you guys like how I fixed that? Okay, but again, that was Mahmoud Ali, our friend. We usually put him towards the end to kind of just bring home those positive vibes and great charisma that he has. So thank you to the two of you. Only one last poet, and that poet is me. My name is Dorian Rogers, and this poem is dedicated to the 1 kilometer asteroid that some of you may have heard got about within 1 million miles of Earth. And so it made the news recently. This is a poem from my book called The Million Mile Stare. It's called, they just named a comet after Malala. Meteors tracing on a blackboard night, screeching against the nothingness and everythingness of space. It all sounded like sandpaper in her right ear. Painkillers helped to turn down the white noise, but never forever or completely. How can we lobby for a George Floyd galactic object, you know, like a moon crater named for Trayvon, or a black hole, maybe a black hole for Amadou Diallo, or a comet for Tamir? Help me to make me feel like no injustice against my people will be forgotten in the heavens. Add the martyrs to the history books. Yeah, add the martyrs to the history books so that advanced placement students can map the celestial objects' locations and predict the day and time it will one day whiz by Earth again. Everybody, that was the end of Rooftop Rhythms 87. I can't believe we stayed committed to 1 hour because I like to keep you all night to share poetry and jokes and laughter. You're a big part of why our community is still strong, our online audience. We've discovered a lot of new artists during this time. So thank you so much to all of our stakeholders. Thank you for coming this evening. And we're going to end the show with the final announcement from the Executive Artistic Director of the Art Center at NYU Abu Dhabi. Show some love to the man with the plan, Bill Bragan.
All right, and thank you, Dorian, for sharing your artistry and also for creating Rooftop Rhythms and bringing this amazing platform here to us at the Art Center at NYU Abu Dhabi. I want to thank all of the performers who shared their work tonight. Thank you for sharing your artistry. Thank you for sharing your honesty. Thank you for touching our hearts and our minds. We hope to see you again next month. And I want to especially thank our sponsors, Mubadala and the U.S. Mission and to the UAE. And I ask for your patience. We are in a very strange time right now, and we are hoping to be back in person on a regular basis really soon, but we want to make sure that that is the right time. So if you're not on our email list, sign up at our website. It's at the very, very bottom of the homepage, nyuad-artscenter.org. We're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at NYU Arts Center. As soon as we have some news, we will be sharing it with you. We're going to continue with workshops and classes and talks. Some of those will be online, some of those will be in person. And like everyone, we're all making it up as we go along right now. But thank you again. Thank you for everybody for coming and hanging in. I like the intimacy of this format. Thank you for everybody who's added to the chat and for all of that positive energy. And we'll see you soon. And thank you, lastly, everyone who works at the Arts Center who made this event happen, all the production team, all the producing team, all the administrative team, everybody behind the scenes who don't get their flowers. I want to thank you, all of you as well. All right, have a good night.